years ago, he could only have dreamed of walking the red carpet. These days, Adam Lambert has come a long way from playing an understudy in a touring musical. It was on the TV talent show American Idol that saw the then 26-year-old win over a legion of fans. And with this performance, he also won over the famously hard-to-please Simon Cowell. Despite not winning the title, he secured a record deal and climbed singles charts around the world with this song. And his first album with this title track has now sold more than 750,000 copies. But he's not just known for his music. Adam Lambert also made headlines when he publicly acknowledged during an interview with Rolling Stone magazine that he's gay. And when he kissed a male band member during a performance at a recent awards ceremony. This week on Talk Asia, we're in Hong Kong with Adam Lambert during his first world concert tour. Adam, welcome to Hong Kong.
Thank you.
Welcome to Talk Asia.
Yeah.
So this is your first headlining tour, Glam Nation, and it's just selling out concert venues everywhere you go. And since Idol, you have been this sort of juggernaut just powering through. Is this what they call living the dream?
Yeah, and this is called working really hard to try to hang on to it. I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't see in the music industry is that you finally get that chance. And if you don't have the work ethic and the drive to keep it up, I think that it can slip right through your fingers. Exactly,
because you know there are so many American Idol contestants before who did really well on the show.
Yeah.
But there are all these whatever happened to so and so stories. Were you concerned that, oh my God, that might be me?
Of course, I thought, I didn't know what to expect after the show ended. I knew there was a lot of interest and excitement. And I'm just thrilled that I had 2 singles that did well in the US and even more than that are doing well internationally. And to me, that's like a sigh of relief because I go, okay, I did something right. Songs are working. That means the record company's still going to want to hang on to me and I get to keep doing what I love.
Your debut album, For Your Entertainment, it's done really, really well.
Yeah, it's done great.
And it featured, some of the biggest acts of today. Pink was on there, Lady Gaga was on there. Tell us about the experience of making your first record.
I didn't really know what to expect because I had to do it so quickly. You come off of Idol and then they schedule a tour for you to do. So we had to get it done in about 2.5 months, all the recording. And that's very little time for the 18 songs that were recorded. And so I was tired and I was run down. It was really interesting too because I didn't quite know exactly what direction I wanted to go in. On Idol, I performed a lot of classic rock, some songs from the 80s, but the majority of everything was older, was retro, because I feel like maybe I'm more of a throwback. That was kind of my take on the direction I wanted to go in for that show, because it was all cover music. When it came time to do original music, I thought, well, you can't really do a whole album that sounds like classic 70s rock because it's so specific. Maybe a couple songs should, but I'm not going to get a song on the radio if it sounds like it's from 1975. Mm-hmm. I want to do something current. I want to do something contemporary, but then blend it with my influences. So that was the big challenge, was to take the old and the new and to kind of marry it together for today's music.
You've certainly come a very long way for a guy who said that he was, afraid of rejection and terrified at the idea of taking risks, because American Idol must have been just absolutely jam-packed with both of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I remember the first couple episodes, I was so nervous. I was, like, shaking. Hopefully no one saw that, like I had the game face on.
You couldn't tell.
But after a couple weeks, I finally relaxed a little bit and really started having fun with it. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe I was actually doing it. I would get off the stage and be like, I can't believe I just performed on camera for 30 million plus people. That's insane. and so I stopped trying to wrap my head around it because that just made me even more nuts, So I was like, okay, just ignore the cameras. You're on stage doing what you've always done. This is just a game. It's a challenge, and you're trying to win. So keep going.
You did come across as very confident even at your audition. You did Rock With You and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell in the slightest bit if you were nervous.
What are you going to sing for us?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Mama,
Just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. I was so nervous during that audition, man. But I was also really tired. I'd been waiting all day, and that kind of helps kind of dull the nerves down a little bit.
What was it like standing up there week after week after you'd sung your heart out, waiting to hear whether the judges, especially Simon, were going to love you or just trash you?
You know, I realized very quickly that I couldn't put too much weight on their response because they're just three people. And opinions are subjective. Everybody has them. I know as a viewer of the show, so many times I would sit there and disagree very passionately with the three judges when I watched it. So I thought, well, you know, if I take what they say to heart too much, then, you know, the audience is going to see that. And I don't know. I know what I just did was either good or bad. And sometimes it was a mess. And I would go, yeah, it was kind of crazy. You know, sometimes I actually was really thrilled with the performance and I would get a mixed bag reaction and be like, well, I liked it. I had fun. I know the audience had fun, you know, and I'm just be who I am up there.
Simon always said, oh, you know, you're too stagey.
Right, right. Well, that was my favorite thing in the beginning was the first audition as Simon said, well, you're theatrical. And I said, well, is that a bad thing? I mean, some of my favorite pop stars are theatrical. So I really such as Madonna, such as Michael Jackson, such as even Justin Timberlake and Usher and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and Pink, you name it. Pop is a little bit theatrical. That's the whole vibe. That's the point, is that it's great music, great melodies, great hooks, but on top of it, it's a presentation. There's a showmanship about it. And that's why I've wanted to be a pop star.
You became such a recognizable personality on that show, and it even became known as the Adam Lambert show for that particular season. It was like everybody knew that you were going to win. That was it. That was just fact.
I didn't know.
The winner of American Idol 2009 is Chris Allen.
And then you didn't.
Well, I didn't. I mean, that was the thing that's so funny is that, like, in the bubble, I wasn't really aware of how I was being received. I know I kept making it through. I would read things here and there and be like, okay, people are liking what I'm doing, but you didn't really get a sense of what people were talking about, what the buzz was. And so since then, I've heard a lot of people say, like, oh, we all thought you would win. And I'm like, you did? I didn't think I was going to get past 7. I thought, you know, I'm going to just creep in there for a couple weeks and then I'm too weird and I'm going to go.
So you genuinely weren't shocked when Chris Allen beat you?
No, I wasn't shocked at all. In fact, I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that I got to the final. That in itself, to me, was winning for me. Getting to the finale, getting to the very end of the show, being as different as I was. And I knew that it wasn't necessarily about the title. It wasn't about first or second place to me. I knew at that point that I would get an opportunity to be signed. I knew that I would have management. I knew that the door had been flung wide open for my career. And that's why I auditioned for the show. I wanted further opportunities. And so I was thrilled that I made it that far and that I got to sing that many songs for America and for the world.
One of the things that's sort of a pitfall, I suppose, of being on a reality TV show is that when you come off it, you can't escape the association, and that credibility can be a big problem for some people. Was that something that ever bothered you?
I had started to do research on the record industry and how to make it as an artist, and I started writing demos and working with producers. And what I came to find very quickly is that it's very hard to break into unless you're a sure thing. And I didn't have any luck. I tried to make some connections, no one was interested. So I thought to myself, you know, I really just need a platform. I need to, like, do it quickly. I need to get myself out there. I need to gain some notoriety and have a form of celebrity, because I feel like that's the only way a record label is going to take a chance on me. I think had I not auditioned for it, I wouldn't be anywhere. So I'd rather live with maybe a little bit of stigma or a little bit of the cred issue as opposed to living in my studio apartment in Hollywood, still making demos on GarageBand.
One of the things that really just wasn't a shock was when you came out to the world as
gay.
Yeah,
right? I know. Surprise.
Yeah, right.